Hi, my name is Emma, and today, I want to share a story about how I faced one of my biggest challenges: moving to a completely new city and learning to connect with people in English. When I first arrived, I was nervous. Everything felt unfamiliar, and even though I had studied some English, using it in real-life situations was intimidating. Sound familiar? In this story, you'll join me on my first adventure in Greenfield, a charming little town. I'll show you how I used simple phrases to navigate new situations, meet people, and build confidence in speaking English. By the end of this story, you'll have learned useful expressions that you can use too. Before we dive in, let me help you prepare. Make sure to turn on subtitles to follow along. Whenever I introduce a key phrase, try repeating it out loud. Repetition will improve your pronunciation and make you more confident. Alright, imagine this. You've just arrived in a new town where you don't know anyone. How would you ask for directions or introduce yourself? That's exactly what I faced. Let's start with my very first day in Greenfield, a day that changed everything. It was a bright, sunny morning when I arrived in Greenfield. The air was crisp, and the small-town charm was everywhere. Colorful houses, bustling streets, and friendly faces. Despite the beauty, I felt a little overwhelmed. This was my first time in a place where I had to rely on English for everything. My plan: to explore the town and find the library, where I had heard about a book club that met weekly. With my backpack slung over my shoulder, I walked along the cobblestone streets, soaking in the new sights and sounds. There were shopkeepers setting up their displays, children laughing on their way to school, and a musician playing a cheerful tune at the corner of the square. Everything was new and exciting, but I realized I didn't know where the library was. Standing in the middle of the town square, I felt a bit stuck. I needed to ask for directions, but how? I took a deep breath and practiced a simple phrase in my head. "Excuse me, can you help me?" I spotted a friendly-looking woman selling flowers nearby. Her stall was filled with vibrant bouquets, and she smiled warmly as she arranged them. I walked up to her, my heart racing. "Excuse me, can you help me? Where is the library?" I said, carefully pronouncing each word. She nodded enthusiastically and replied, "Yes, of course. Go straight for 2 blocks, then turn left. You'll see the library right there." Relieved and grateful, I repeated, "Go straight, turn left, library. Got it. Thank you." This simple interaction boosted my confidence. I realized how powerful even basic English phrases could be in real-life situations. As I made my way toward the library, I couldn't help but smile. This small victory gave me hope that I could navigate this new town, one phrase at a time. As I approached the library, its tall, red brick exterior stood out against the backdrop of Greenfield's cozy streets. The entrance had large glass doors, and a signboard outside read, "Welcome to Greenfield Public Library." My heart was still pounding from my first successful interaction at the flower stall, but I was ready for the next challenge. Inside, the library was warm and inviting, filled with rows of bookshelves and the faint scent of old paper. At the far end of the room, a small group of people sat in a circle, chatting and laughing. That had to be the book club. I took a deep breath and walked over, feeling a mix of excitement and nerves. A woman with short, curly hair looked up and smiled warmly. "Hi there. Are you here for the book club?" she asked. I hesitated for a moment but managed to reply, "Yes, I am. My name is Emma." "Nice to meet you, Emma," she said. "I'm Sarah. Come, join us." I took a seat in the circle, where everyone introduced themselves. "What's your name?" a man with glasses asked, turning to me. "My name is Emma," I said again, this time with more confidence. "I'm new in town." The group welcomed me warmly, asking questions like, "Where are you from?" and "What brings you to Greenfield?" I answered as best as I could, sometimes stumbling over my words but always trying. They were patient, nodding and smiling as I spoke. One of the members, an older man named Paul, handed me a book and said, "We're reading this one next. It's a classic. Have you read it before?" I looked at the cover. It was a simple novel with short, easy-to-read chapters. "No, not yet," I replied. "But I'm excited to try." Throughout the session, I noticed how everyone used phrases like, "That's interesting. Can you explain more?" and "I agree with you." These small expressions made the conversation flow naturally. I mentally noted them, thinking of how useful they would be for me in the future. At the end of the meeting, Sarah turned to me and said, "We're so glad you joined us, Emma. Will we see you next week?" "Definitely," I replied, smiling. "Thank you for making me feel welcome." As I walked out of the library, I felt a sense of accomplishment. Not only had I found the book club, but I had also managed to participate, make introductions, and even learn a few conversational phrases. It was a small step, but it felt like a giant leap for me. Let's take a moment to break down the key phrases and expressions from Emma's story and see how you can use them in your own conversations. These simple sentences are incredibly useful in everyday life, especially if you're new to speaking English. First, let's revisit how Emma asked for directions. "Excuse me, can you help me? Where is the library?" This phrase is polite and straightforward. The phrase, "excuse me," is a great way to get someone's attention without being rude. You can use it anywhere, on the street, in a store, or even at a train station. Practice saying it with me. "Excuse me, can you help me?" Next, let's focus on giving and understanding directions. The flower seller said, "Go straight for 2 blocks, then turn left." These are common phrases when talking about directions. Go straight, turn left, and turn right. When you hear directions, try repeating them to confirm, just like Emma did. Go straight, turn left, library. Got it. Repeating helps you remember and shows that you're actively listening. At the book club, Emma learned how to introduce herself. "My name is Emma." This is a universal phrase you'll use often. To make it more personal, add a bit of information, like, "My name is Emma, and I'm new in town." When someone asks, "What's your name?" try responding with confidence and a smile. Finally, let's talk about conversational expressions. During the book club, members used phrases like, "That's interesting. Can you explain more?" and "I agree with you." These expressions are perfect for keeping conversations flowing naturally. Practice using them in your own interactions. Now, let's put this into practice. Imagine you're asking for directions or introducing yourself to someone new. How would you use these phrases? Try writing them down or repeating them out loud. Remember, the more you practice, the easier it becomes. Now it's your turn to practice. Imagine yourself in Emma's shoes. You've just arrived in a new town, and you need to ask for directions or introduce yourself to someone new. Let's go through a few scenarios together and practice using the phrases we've learned. Scenario 1. Asking for directions. You're standing in the middle of a busy square, and you need to find the nearest park. Start by saying, "Excuse me, can you help me?" Now, ask your question. Where is the park? If someone gives you directions, repeat them out loud to confirm. For example, if they say, "Go straight and turn right," you can reply, "Go straight, turn right." Thank you. Let's practice. Repeat these phrases after me. Excuse me, can you help me? Where is the park? Go straight and turn right. Thank you. Scenario 2. Introducing yourself. You're at a local event, and someone approaches you. They say, "Hi, what's your name?" How do you respond? "My name is," your name. "I'm new here." To keep the conversation going, you can add something like, "It's nice to meet you. What's your name?" Practice saying this. "My name is," your name. "I'm new here. It's nice to meet you. What's your name?" Scenario 3. Joining a group. Imagine you've joined a club or a group activity. Someone asks, "Why did you join this group?" How do you answer? "I wanted to meet new people and practice English." Here's another response you can use. "I enjoy the activity." What about you? Try repeating these sentences. "I wanted to meet new people and practice English." "I enjoy the activity." What about you? Challenge yourself. Now it's time for a mini challenge. Think of a place you often visit, a park, a store, or a cafe. Write down how you would ask for directions to that place or how you would introduce yourself to someone there. For example, "Excuse me, where is the nearest grocery store?" "Hi, my name is," your name. "It's nice to meet you." Feel free to share your sentences in the comments or practice them out loud. Remember, the more you practice, the more confident you'll feel. Today, we followed Emma's journey through her first day in Greenfield, learning valuable phrases and expressions along the way. Let's take a moment to recap what we've covered. First, we learned how to ask for directions with simple but powerful phrases like, "Excuse me, can you help me?" "Where is the library?" "Go straight, turn left, and turn right." Then, we explored introductions and keeping conversations flowing. You can confidently say, "My name is," your name. "I'm new here. It's nice to meet you. What's your name?" "I enjoy the activity." What about you? These expressions are small, but they open doors to connection, whether you're asking for directions, meeting new people, or joining a group. Every word you practice brings you one step closer to fluency. Remember, learning a new language takes time, and it's okay to make mistakes. Mistakes are part of the process. Each interaction, no matter how simple, builds your confidence and skills. As Emma discovered, even a small victory, like asking for directions or introducing yourself, can feel like a huge step forward. And just like Emma, you can use these phrases to create real connections in your own life. Now it's your turn. Use the phrases we practiced today in your daily life. Try starting a conversation with someone new or asking for directions when you're out and about. You can also leave a comment below with your own examples, or let us know how this story inspired you to take your next step in learning English. If you enjoyed this story and found it helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. In our next story, we'll explore more real-life situations to help you build your English skills even further. Until next time, keep practicing and remember, every small step counts. You're doing great.